yeah. Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. On the 11th of October, it is National Coming Out Day. Lots of people in the LGBTQ community are celebrating coming out, accepting themselves as the people they are, and just embracing life and accepting love. I just want to put out a disclaimer, you don't have to come out today. You should only come out when you feel like you want to come out. You may decide that you don't even want to come out, and that's absolutely fine. You don't have to define yourself as anything. It's just you have to do what feels right for you, what feels comfortable for you. Coming out videos have been like probably the videos I watch the most on YouTube. I'm wearing my Asexual tree t-shirt. I have my Asexual Pride necklace on that I got from Riot Cakes. I ordered it on her website. I'll put her website down below. She has a ton of stuff, like ton of necklaces, badges, you know, like little stickers that are all LGBTQ related. I would highly recommend you check out her website. And Carly, she's adorable, she's so sweet, so go and check out her website and her Instagram as well, because she posts really good photos on there as well. National Coming Out Day is on the 11th of October, but it's also Asexual Awareness Week from the 23rd of October to the 30th of October. It was BiVisibility Day last Thursday, I believe. It was last Thursday or last Friday, it was one of those days. And it's very important that all of these sexualities have their own form of awareness. There's like important issues for each sexuality. So if you want to learn a bit more about asexuality, what I define as, I did a video on asexuality last year, and I've also done a blog post on asexuality. I'll put the link for that down below, and I'll also put the video for asexuality up here as well. Without further ado, here's my coming out story. Oh dear, here we go. All of these coming out videos start the same. Throughout my life, I'd always known that there was something quite different from the get-go. And I know that sounds cliche as fuck, but I grew up in a small town where I didn't know about gay relationships, lesbian relationships, until I was around 15 or so, which is quite shocking for me to say that. So we grew up with this idea that you were going to be married, well, I was going to be married to a man, was going to have kids, was going to grow old, and that would be it. That would be my life sorted. I was going to follow the same sort of path. I kind of realised that, you know, it didn't seem to suit me that well. I guess in the back of my mind, I was always attracted to both men and women, but I went through a long time of suppressing various different feelings down. Whilst I was in high school, I was with a group of friends who were all in relationships with, they all had boyfriends. You saw them, you know, like PDA with their boyfriends, like holding their hands, hugging them, kissing them. And I just felt awkward. I just didn't feel as if I fitted into that role. When I saw like a guy I was like attracted to in high school, it was in that way of being like, if I go out with this person, I will be accepted. And then I realised that no matter what I was going to do, I was never going to be that accepted anyways. Like, most people, when they're teenagers, would go out, drink alcohol, like have parties all the time, whereas I would stay at home, play saxophone, or write Queen fan fiction. I was never going to fit in. Mum was very into 80s rock music and pop music, and most of the artists from the 80s had identified as gay or bisexual. David Bowie, Elton John, Boy George. I was obsessed with Boy George when I was younger. And of course, my guardian angel, Sir Freddie Mercury. He was just, oh. I was always accepting of gay guys. It didn't really matter to me. I was like, as long as you're happy doing what you're wanting to do in life, then that's okay, that's absolutely fine. One of my favourite programmes throughout high school was Doctor Who. So this was in the Russell T Davies era, David Tennant series. Of course, Russell T Davies was openly gay, and he created like relationships, like homosexual, homo-romantic relationships. He created Captain Jack Harkness, who was bisexual, to watch these same-sex couples. And I was intrigued, not in a creepy way. I'm not the biggest fan of couples per se, but when it was like when it was same-sex couples, I was like, okay, that's cool. I like this. Fair enough. So it was very helpful to have musical artists that I listened to and Doctor Who watching, you know, like the same-sex couples in that series. But at home, there was hardly any knowledge of it whatsoever. I went through the whole of high school not being in a relationship, basically beating myself up for it because there wasn't really anyone that I saw myself being with. I wasn't having the same feelings of attraction to people than like my friends were. They would be saying, oh, this person likes you, and I would be like, okay, that's great, but no. Like, seriously, no. I can definitely say that I've fallen in love before in my life. The first person I fell in love with was in high school. He was a boy, and I was to the point where I was obsessed with him. He was musical, of course, so that was definitely one key factor. He turned me down. I was really naive at the time. I had no idea what I was doing. It really dented my confidence to the point where I just didn't want to talk to anyone. The next person I saw that I liked, I didn't say anything to them. When the time came for me to go to university, it was my chance to, you know, like to get away from home and to explore somewhere new. In my heart, I was also like, maybe this is a chance for me to find someone that I love, someone that I care for. I knew that I would care for a person. I knew that I wanted to have like a romantic relationship with a person, you know, like share secrets with that person, you know, like be with that person, like go out on dates with them. But in terms of kissing them and doing the do with them, not really, no. I moved to Aberdeen and started the whole student lifestyle. And one of the things you constantly hear about university is that you end up having sex with a lot of people. And in my head I was like, shit, please, no, I don't want to do that, no, that just seems wrong, ew, like, no, I couldn't process that at all. It was almost as if I moved like from high school, the group of friends that I had that were all in relationships, I moved into another group of friends that were all in heterosexual relationships. But this time it was the more extreme, like R-rated, like 18 rated, where they were talking about what sex positions they used, and I was just like, I am not comfortable with this. One of my nightmares during like a party or social gathering, that sounded really posh, is the never have I ever game, because chances are I haven't done it. So I will be the most boring person ever in that game. I had my first kiss when I was 19. It's really sad, I know. And I had it in my head of being like, oh, my first kiss is going to be amazing. It's going to be with someone I trust, someone that I care about. It was when I was drunk. I met the guy, like, I'd known him for 2 hours or something, and he kissed me. And it was almost like he stole that first kiss experience from me, and I've never really been able to get over that little fact. And at the time I was like, oh, is this it? Like, this big hype about kissing and that's it? Like, one of the main things that helped me to find out who I was YouTube. YouTube was definitely something that, you know, taught me a lot more about the LGBTQ community and asexuality later on. Also subscribed to several couples on YouTube, like same-sex couple. One of them I subscribed to when I first moved into halls, when I was feeling a bit homesick, and it was Kaylin and Lucy. I'm so sad because they just broke up recently as well. I'm so sad. But I would watch how they were just so happy with each other, like so open, and they loved each other. They were normal girls that just loved each other, and it was amazing to watch, like how normal their life was. And then I found like other channels like Katie and Ailish, who don't produce YouTube videos anymore. Will and RJ, like Tyler Oakley, for example. They were just so proud and so happy to be gay, like to just embrace that they weren't straight. At this time I was kind of, you know, I see my coming out story in certain stages. So at this point I said that I was straight. I thought myself to be straight, but I was fully okay with people being gay or bi or having their different sexualities, and I was completely okay with that. I remember this day really well. I was in my bedroom in my previous flat, and it was just after Valentine's Day in February 2014. I was on Facebook. It was when Facebook started doing the trends like Twitter does. I was looking on my Facebook and I saw one post saying Ellen Page comes out. I love Ellen Page. I mean, Juno is one of the best films ever, and Ellen Page, she's just, oh, she's stunning. She is so beautiful. I clicked on it being like, oh, okay, what is this? I also made sure I had headphones on so my flatmates couldn't tell that I was listening to, I was watching a video of someone coming out. It was when she was doing a speech at a human rights campaign, I think. It was so beautiful, her speech. It amazed me, and at the end of the video I was in tears. It was amazing. After watching that video, when I said to myself, I'm bisexual. So you have the straight, and then I moved on to bisexual, and I was like, okay, that's it, that's me as bisexual. And from then on, I then started noticing women a lot more. I'd always kind of been attracted to women, always kind of preferred women in a certain way, but I was never that fully open about it. I always suppressed those feelings and didn't tell anybody at the time. I had really fallen for one girl who used to be a really good friend of mine, and we had a big falling out, and we've never been able to patch up things since. So when that happened, I was distraught. I was really scared. There were several points throughout my coming out story where there were some really, really dark times, especially last year, where I didn't have a clue what I was. I didn't think I was ever going to know who I truly was, and I didn't think anyone would actually accept me. I would cry myself to sleep pretty much every single night for quite a long time because I was fearing that I was going to be gay. I'm not saying this like after me saying that I love like everyone, like I have a lot of friends who see themselves as gay or bi, and I'm so happy for the last couple of years. I really didn't want to be gay because I guess of pressure. Being the eldest in my family, there was always that expectation of me to be the role model, to start having the family and kids, you know, all of that. And I just felt if I came out, I would be seen as a failure. Time went on, my mood really went downhill. I've posted a video on anxiety and depression before. It really started for me at the start of my third year in university, and I was keeping it a secret from pretty much everyone that I knew apart from one person. It was really complicated because I trusted this person so well with what I had been going through. There were like sort of complicated feelings there, but I knew these feelings were wrong because I knew what kind of person he was, and I knew that it was so wrong to go down that route. So nervous, I would basically have a panic attack next to this person. I would feel scared, like I would, you know, I would be shaking, I would start sweating, like I felt sick when I was close to people, and I was like, this isn't right. It was the thought of touching them or kissing them, or you know, them like wanting to do the do basically. I couldn't see that happening. I didn't want that to happen. I really didn't want that to happen. I've had people who have known me, who have come out to me before. I'm amazed when they tell me who they are. It's amazing to me. By the time like several people like came out to me, I then realised, you know, hang on, maybe something isn't quite right with me. Going through all various coming out videos on YouTube and, you know, watching them and everything. And I realised that when I was watching them, they still didn't seem to match up to how I was feeling. They really talked about who they were sexually attracted to, and I just didn't see that. When I had crushes on people, I thought it was wrong. It wasn't exactly a crush I was having on them because I didn't want to, you know, do with them. Have I actually fallen in love? Do I actually like these people? It was just, there was a lot going on in my head. I needed to find a way to sort it out. There was some time where I had fallen out with another friend. Well, not really fallen out. We had quite a difficult situation. I was so upset and I was so depressed for such a while. And it was before I went home, or a week or so before, going back and starting work and all that. I went home being upset and not knowing what to do. My family noticed it. It was the fact that I didn't know who I was, and I needed to find out who I was, otherwise I was just going to explode. I was on the internet and I was looking, trying to find different terms, to see if people had fallen for those but didn't want a sexual attraction to them. And that was when I found out about asexuality. This was in May 2015. So last year. I had 21 years of not knowing who I was, being so confused and scared for that long. And I think it was a Yahoo Answers post, I think. And they were responding to it, and they put down the different kind of romantic attractions to them. Aromantic, biromantic, heteroromantic, homoromantic, panromantic, etc. I saw the term for biromantic asexual, someone who is romantically attracted to two genders or more, but isn't sexually attracted to them. I read that, I closed my eyes, I took in a deep breath, released it, and opened my eyes and said, I'm a biromantic asexual. And the relief, the release, the amount of tension that just eased out of me that night. I had never felt anything quite like that before. It was surreal. I'm getting flashbacks to it now, actually, thinking back on it. It was just, it was amazing to me. Another coming out video that helped me to discover more of myself was Ingrid's coming out video that she posted not long after I found out about asexuality. I was on Twitter, she tweeted a video saying something I have to tell you, and I was like, oh, okay, what is this? Clicked on it, had the headphones on. It was in that living room, actually. I was sitting here and Stream was sitting opposite. I was watching it and she came out, and at first I was like, okay, because I'd always shared her relationships with guys on the internet. So at the start I was like, At the end of the video I was like, fuck. So close to losing it. Thinking back when I first watched it, because so many things she said I identified with. The number of times she's had to suppress feelings. She had to live this life that she didn't want to live because she wanted to be loved and accepted. She was saying that we all deserve our best chance in life, and it's time for her to give herself her best chance. And I was just like, fucking hell. That was seriously what I was. I was close to tears again. I was worried that Stream was going to see me cry again, and I was just like, oh god, oh no. There was an almost fourth stage, I guess. This was when I was really attracted to women at some point, and I was like, maybe I am a lesbian. So there was this several times during the summer where once again I was in complete denial. I knew about asexuality, but there was a point where I felt like, oh, maybe I'm a lesbian. I was so confused once again. Of course, I hardly told anyone at the time. I told my best friends, Strain and Connie. I basically came out to them, and they were really accepting, they were really loving. Then came out to my mum and dad. I found an asexuality document, an asexuality guide for parents, which I'll put down below as well because it's quite a useful link to have. Sent it to them through Facebook Messenger. The response I got was interesting, needless to say. They haven't spoken to me at all about it, which, I mean, I'm okay with. After kind of coming out to myself, I started, first dates, My first actual date was with a girl. It didn't work out that well. Like, we basically had our date and then she removed me on Facebook the next day and was like, I don't want to see you again. So I was like, cool, fine. There was this other person who was male. I had a couple of dates with him, I think. Like, he still is an incredibly important person to me, and he fully accepted me for me because I've told him secrets that I just shared with my best friends before, and he's been amazing. A year or so before I fully came out to friends, I didn't really want to say it, as you know, like, I'm asexual, I don't like sex, woo! I should have just said it like that. Once again, I was on the internet and I found a picture of a heart, which I'll put here, and it had asexual colours, so black, grey, purple and white, and it said not confused in the middle. And I found that picture so poignant and so, you know, so true. Bisexuality and asexuality tend to be the two sexualities that are the least known or the least accepted in the LGBTQ community. It's, you know, bisexuality is used as a stage, you know, like you come out as bi and then you fully come out as gay. Asexual doesn't really exist, like, oh, it only exists in plants. I saw this and I was like, I'm gonna come out today. I'm fed up of living in this bubble. I am fed up of hiding. I just wanted to share, like, how passionate I am about asexuality rights, for example, spreading awareness as an asexuality advocate. Did my post on Instagram and I shared it on my personal Facebook. People liked it. I even got like nice messages from people saying like, we're so proud of you, like, well done for coming out, well done for educating me. It was so nice to see that people were okay with it. I've always struggled with social anxiety, and I've always, you know, had it in the back of my mind, what would people really think of me? It's taken me a while to realise that I shouldn't really care what people think as long as I'm happy living my own life. That's what's important. It was a while ago, earlier on, where I did like my asexuality video and blog post, but not a great deal amount of people knew about that at the time. So it was, when was it? It was like May, I think, May this year or something, when I shared that picture. They acknowledged it, they wanted to acknowledge it, and they didn't if they didn't want to, and you know, that was fine. Sometimes I say bi to make things a little easier for people. The term I use right now for myself is biromantic asexual. So I'm romantically attracted to both men and women, but there's a lack of sexual attraction there. It's basically like little to none. There's like hardly any sexual attraction there. This may be the same for me next year. It may be different. I may identify as panromantic, I may identify myself as queer, I may develop a sexual attraction to someone if I do start a relationship at some point. Past year or so has been the first time I've actually been happy with myself in terms of my sexuality, and it's great. It really is. I've finally accepted myself and I have people who accept me. It's great. There's still a long way to go. I want to put this out there. If you are scared of coming out or you don't know how to come out, you are not alone. And there are lots of people out there who are going through similar situations. Once again, cliche to say, but it's definitely true. Like I say, you don't have to come out now, you don't have to come out next month, you don't even have to come out in general, just as long as you're happy with yourself, you love the person, if you're with someone you love that person for who they are as well. Learn to love yourself first, and then you can decide what you want to do, because it's your life at the end of the day. Live it the way you want to live it. As I keep on saying on like photos or various different videos, like, it's 2016 and people shouldn't be afraid to be who they truly are. I look forward to living in a world where everyone's like truly accepting of each other and loving of each other. So that's incredibly important. That was my coming out video. Happy National Coming Out Day! Sorry if I rambled on for quite some time. Did think about writing notes, but I just thought it would be easier if I like said it to you almost as if I was having a chat with you almost, because it seems to be a bit more personal and a bit more, you know, human, I guess. Yeah, like I said, if you want to find out more about asexuality, I've done a video, I've done a blog post, there's like links to like various different websites and YouTube channels as well that specialise in asexuality. I recommend you go and watch The Cookie Monster and Amelia Ace, who are so great. There's a couple of coming out asexual videos as well, which are really good, so I'll share them as well, because apparently 1% of the population identifies asexual. I believe it's a lot more than that. There just needs to be a lot more awareness out there. If you're coming out soon, or if you're planning to come out, I hope it goes well for you. A really big thing, you're so brave doing what you do. If for some reason, if people aren't accepting, there will be people out there who are accepting of who you are, because you deserve a lot of love. If you ever need someone to talk to, I promise I will be there. Just send me a message, like either on my Facebook page or on my Twitter, or send me an email. Please don't feel like you're alone, because like I said, it's a scary world we live in. But LGBTQ issues are becoming more like people are becoming more accepted now, and like there's a lot more knowledge of different sexualities out there now, and it's just, you know, I think we're slowly getting better. If you have already come out, well done, you've already done that stage. Be happy for who you are. Just be you, because you are amazing. Yes, I'm pointing at you, and you, and you, and all of you. Hugs. Hugs. As I said earlier on, is Asexual Awareness Week between the 23rd of October and the 30th of October. So I'm interested in possibly making more videos for that week. If you have any questions about asexuality you may want to ask me, then you can leave it as a comment down below. You can tweet me, or you can send me an email, because I think it'll be good to have like a little question video on this sexuality to spread more awareness about it. But thank you for being such wonderful, supportive people. Hearts to everyone out there on this glorious day. Embrace who you are. Be who you want to be. Just hearts to you all. Lots of love. Love you all so much. And I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care.